10 Facts about Cleopatra, the last true pharaoh of Egypt. Cleopatra the Seventh of 69 to 30 BC has been immortalized through centuries of art, music, and literature for her great physical beauty and love affairs with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Cleopatra was much more than the femme fatale or tragic heroine. History often portrays her as she was a fearsome leader and brilliantly astute politician. During her rule between 51 to 30 BC, she brought peace and prosperity to a country that had been bankrupt and split by civil war. Here are the 10 facts about Cleopatra, the legendary Queen of the Nile. Number 1. She was the last ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Although she was born in Egypt, Cleopatra was not Egyptian. Her origins trace back to the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Macedonian Greek royal family. She was a descendant of Ptolemy I Soter, a general and friend of Alexander the Great. The Ptolemies were the last dynasty to rule Egypt from 305 to 30 BC. After her father Ptolemy XII's death in 51 BC, Cleopatra became co-regent of Egypt alongside her brother Ptolemy XIII. Number 2. She was highly intelligent and well educated. Medieval Arab texts praise Cleopatra for her accomplishments as a mathematician, chemist, and philosopher. She was said to have written scientific books and, in the words of the historian al-Masudi, she was also multilingual. Historical accounts report her speaking between 5 and 9 languages, including her native Greek, Egyptian, Arabic, and Hebrew. Number 3. Cleopatra married 2 of her brothers. Cleopatra was married to her brother and co-ruler Ptolemy XIII, who was 10 years old at the time. She was 18. In 48 BC, Ptolemy tried to depose his sister, forcing her to flee to Syria and Egypt. Upon Ptolemy XIII's death, after being defeated by her Roman-Egyptian armies, Cleopatra married his younger brother, Ptolemy XIV. She was 22, he was 12. During their marriage, Cleopatra continued to live with Caesar privately and act as his mistress. She married Mark Antony in 32 BC. Following Antony's surrender and suicide after being defeated by Octavian, Cleopatra was captured by his army. The legend goes that Cleopatra had an ass smuggled into her room and allowed it to bite her, poisoning and killing her. Number 4. Her beauty was the product of Roman propaganda. Contrary to modern portrayals from Elizabeth Taylor and Vivian Leigh, there is no evidence among ancient historians that Cleopatra was a great beauty. Contemporary visual sources show Cleopatra with a large pointed nose, narrow lips, and sharp jutting chin. According to Plutarch, a Greek Middle Platonist philosopher, her actual beauty was not so remarkable that none could be compared with her. Her reputation as a dangerous and seductive temptress was in fact the creation of her enemy, Octavian. Roman historians portrayed her as a harlot who used sex to bewitch powerful men into giving her power. Number 5. She used her image as a political tool. Cleopatra believed herself to be a living goddess and was keenly aware of the relationship between image and power. Historians describe her as a mistress of disguise and costume. She would appear dressed as the goddess Isis at ceremonial events and surrounded herself with luxury.
Thank you so much for watching. Follow Gilmore for more.